nearby called the Green Coat School because the pupils again wore green coats. Well, that's long since gone, but coming into view as we turn, you can see up ahead, still in the distance, an old grey coat school going back to the 1600s. And the pupils to this day still wear grey coats. And this, to your right, is now a Church of England school for girls. At the distance there, you can see part of the House of Parliament, the Victoria Tower with the flag. It's the largest Gothic tower in the world. And all the documents of the laws of England going back to the 1480s again. At the bottom, you've got the sovereign residence, where the Queen arrives every year when she opens Parliament. So coming up on your left here, you've got headquarters of Channel 4 Television, which was built in a sort of high-tech style in the 1990s by architect Richard Roberts. The Road Horseferry Road, so called because, right at the end of the road here, that used to be the only point of the road in London to allow to ferry horses across the river. And the man who had the right to take control of the horse ferry was the Archbishop of Canterbury, the spiritual leader of the Church of England. And his London home is just across the River Thames up ahead at Lambeth Palace. Got the Home Office building coming up on the left here. And the Home Secretary, Savage Gavin works. Now that large brick building ahead on your right on the corner, it's a very exclusive apartment block. In fact, the whole of the top floor, ahead on your right, is owned by Sir Elton John. Another great Queen of England. Yeah. One of Elton John's pets, top floor, ahead on your right. He paid £30 million for that about 10 years ago. And this used to be the old Westminster Hospital till about 20 years ago. But they moved further west to Chelsea back in the 1990s. So this coming up is now given over to exclusive apartments, including one for Sir Elton, top floor, ahead on your right there. So coming up is our stop for the Tate Britain Gallery, not the Tate Modern. You get the Tate Modern from St Paul's. And like the Modern, the Tate Britain is free to go in, and that's for all the pictures of Tate Britain. So it's at the bottom there, turn right for the Tate Britain. And also, our stop in, if you want to walk round to close up to Big Ben. You can't get close up at the moment because demonstration. So if you want to walk close up to Big Ben, it's just at the bottom, turn left. We'll see that classic view that Big Ben and the House of Parliament at the moment when we cross the river. If you want to walk round to Big Ben from the Abbey, Westminster Abbey only opened religious services today on Easter. So it's just at the bottom, turn left for Big Ben and the House of Parliament, bottom turn right for the Tate Britain. Anybody for that? That's Lambeth Bridge up ahead, spanning the River Thames. It leads to Lambeth on the south side, where they do the Lambeth Walk. That's a famous musical song from the 1930s. You mean the Lambeth Walk? Oi! There's a road up there called that, the Lambeth Walk, which actually inspired the song. Now notice just ahead there, in the middle of the roundabout, is a giant pineapple. And on either side of Lambeth Bridge, above the pillars there, on top of each pillar is a pineapple depicted. Now these are in dedication to Sir John Tedescott. And he grew the very first pineapple in England back in the 1600s. And he's buried in the church just ahead there, across Lambeth Bridge. The old church is very Lambeth. Also buried in that church ahead is Kathleen Bligh from the Meeting on the Bounty back in the 18th century. As we go on to Lambeth Bridge, look to your right, you can see the Secret Service building, MI6. This is sort of Egyptian-looking building to your right, the brown and green one. That's where James Bond goes to be M, the Miss Moneypenny. There's the London Eye to your left, the largest observation wood in Europe, 440 feet. It takes half an hour to do one turn. Turning at the moment slowly till 8 o'clock, and it's about £29 to go round. You can get payments of these reduced price fast track tickets online, and for other attractions as well. Read about the boat here. And we'll breathe in a couple of stops around the line. That's where you get the boat from. Oh, I think I saw that film, National Lampoon's European Vacation. This ahead, this was the roundabout that Chevy Chase was going around for about 5 hours. We should be able to do it in about 5 seconds. It's not that difficult, really. Now, in the distance up ahead in the road, we should be able to see the green dome. This is the Imperial War Museum. Now, it's also free to go in and open on Sunday, the War Museum. And the Imperial War Museum is housed in the old Bedlam Lunatic Asylum. It's Bedlam down there. Now, in Britain, if you want to say if chaos is madness around, they say it's Bedlam. And that comes from the Bethlehem Hospital, which stood, the building still stands up there, but now occupied by the Imperial War Museum.
We should go to the Imperial War
That's Lambeth Palace ahead on your left, the brick building, the red brick building. That is the London home of the Archbishop of Canterbury, spiritual leader of the Church of England. It goes back to the 1480s, that building to your left. It was standing before Columbus set sail to America. The Archbishop says they've lived on that site since the 12th century. See, I don't think you see a green dome in the distance there, up ahead, that's the War Museum. And there's that classic view to your left here of Big Ben and the Houses of Parliament. You know, the one you see in all the films. When I want to show you in London, I'll show this montage shot. Now, it's a bit of a gem, this building. It looks good from every angle. This, though, is probably its most famous viewpoint. It's all outdoors at the side of the road. It's about 160, 170 years old, the Parliament building. Looking older, though, because it's built in a Gothic style, so inventing the Westminster Abbey, which is see the two white towers just to your left there, across the river. That's Westminster Abbey. We'll be close up to that later on. Anybody for the War Museum? It's up there to your right, about a 10-minute walk, it's free to go. You go to that? No? Okay, George. Heading now towards the London Eye and the pier for the boat. There's that classic view of Big Ben and the House of Parliament. The House of Commons is next to the clock tower. The House of Lords, the other chamber, is next to the Victoria Tower at the back. Oh, the flag is flying on Lambeth Palace, so the Archbishop of Canterbury is in residence just in Welby. And they got the private gardens of Lambeth Palace, the second largest private gardens in London. The largest, of course, are those in Buckingham Palace, about 40 acres, about 13 acres here. St Thomas's Hospital, to your left, was founded in the 12th century and named after Thomas of Aquin. In the 19th century, Florence Nightingale started her nursing school here. Nurses still call Nightingales here to this day. No, back in the 18th century, it was all countryside around here. And just ahead of you there, what was then open ground, an old army captain called Captain Philip Astley, he set up a new form of entertainment on that side ahead. What it was horses jumping through hoops, going over hurdles around the circular arena. And because the arena was circular, Captain Astley, he called this new form of entertainment a circus. It was the very first one, just ahead there, in 1768. There's no lions or clowns in those days, it was just horses, but it was the start of the circus tradition. I often wonder why the Park Plaza Hotel ahead is circular in shape. Is it because the first circus took place on this side? And Captain Astley, he determined the traditional radius of the circus ring, 42 feet, which is still used to this day. All open to the elements. There's no big tent in those days. The big top didn't come over from America to the early 1800s. Now, just ahead on your right, you can see the blue Caterpillar building of Waterloo Station. Now, until about 12 years ago, you could have got the Eurostar Express from here to Paris through the Channel Tunnel. But that's now moved to St Pancras Station north of here. So I think this train platform ahead on your right is now defunct. although it still is the longest train platform in Britain, this, a quarter of a mile long. And it was only in operation for about 1,000 years, this Eurostar terminus, and is an award-winning design by Nicholas Richard. Just up from Waterloo Station, there's about a 5-minute walk up there to your right. You've got to your left here the Colonside Hill Museum, and to your right on the back side you've got London Eye and the River Cruise just by it. Yeah, we're going to pull up for those. And in this big white building to your right, it's the old County Hall. This once home of local government in London until 1986. It's now mainly a hotel, but in there as well you've got the London Dungeon, Chamber of Horrors, the Shrek Adventure, and the London Aquarium, with a very nice sushi bar outside. And again, we do these reduced price fast track tickets to those attractions for our payment staff. Fast track means you have to queue or stand in line. Is anybody for any of those? Colonside Hill Museum, Waterloo Station, the London Eye just around there to your right, that's where the River Cruise is. Are people coming down? Yes, they're coming down. So, when you finish, just come back here, pick up another bus, because the bus every 10-15 minutes.
Right.